Hi, this is Dr. Jack Ringer here in Anaheim Hills, and I want to welcome you to another episode of What Would You Do, Doc? So, what I want to talk to you about right now is missing teeth, okay? And I want to do this in two parts. The first one I want to talk about is with your kid. And I'm not talking about like before they get their permanent teeth. I'm talking about when they get their adult teeth. And it happens quite often, maybe it's happened to some of you, where your child experiences some sort of trauma on their front teeth and a tooth pops out, comes out. What would you do? Okay? It's very interesting because if it comes out cleanly, that tooth can be reimplanted. Okay? So the thing that the parent should do, or maybe even tell the child, is if the tooth pops out, don't panic. Pick up the tooth, and we want to keep it hydrated, meaning wet and clean. So if it's at home, just put it maybe in a glass of milk, okay? And bring it to your dentist. What the dentist will do is he will make sure that tooth is nice and clean, and they may do what is called a root canal, meaning taking out the nerve of that tooth right in this hand, sealing it, and then putting it right back into the socket and securing it to the other teeth while it settles down. And by securing it, I mean they can take a little bit of bonding material, like a little plastic, and just bond it to the teeth on either side, just to stabilize it until that tooth becomes stable in its original socket. So that leads me now to the situation where maybe it's a back tooth that you're missing or has to be removed, or even as an adult, a grown adult, you broke a tooth and it can't be salvaged. There's nothing to reimplant. Dentistry typically has three options to replace a missing tooth or teeth, okay? One, which was the original replacement for missing teeth when we're going back hundreds of years, was a plate, like a retainer of a sort that has a tooth on it. The big advantage, it is not a hugely expensive route to go compared to some of the other ways. So that brings us to the next option, which was the state of the art until a couple of decades ago, and that's what we called a fixed bridge. The bridge, you have to drill. Okay, huge disadvantage. The teeth are connected. So that means that if anything goes wrong with either of the teeth that connect the bridge, the whole bridge goes. That's another negative. The third negative is cleaning. You can't floss normally. You have to use a threader to get underneath it. Though it's a negative, it's a minor one. But all in all, a bridge is a phenomenal therapy to have. Okay, it's not clinically bad. Okay, they've been used for decades and decades. But understand what comes with that. You have to sacrifice tooth structure on the adjacent teeth. So what is really the ideal scenario? And that's replacing the tooth with an artificial tooth. You don't worry about the teeth on either side. So we have to have some mechanism where we can create a new root for the person. And what do we have? Implants. The dental industry has developed using very small titanium cylinders in various shapes and sizes that are put into the bone. And then on top of the implant, a tooth would be attached. So the cylinder would have a little hole in it, and the dentist would torque in a head to it, which we call an abutment. And then on top of the abutment, they'd put a crown. So we covered the child losing a tooth, and then the adult when they are missing a tooth, and the options to go about it. So if you are in that situation or a family member, you must sit with your dentist and go through all the options. If your dentist sits down with you and says, oh, you're missing a tooth, the only thing you can have is a bridge, you're being misinformed. Okay? You want to get all the information so you can make an informed decision. So for that beautiful smile that you always want and deserve, you can reach me at 714-974-0313. And always you can reach us at our website, www.dentalcosmetics.com. So I hope this episode is really insightful and educational, helpful to you. And I really look forward to you joining me in another episode of What Would You Do, Doc?